We're good. Yeah.
Everything should be back.
Seems legit.
We look good. We look good. Hey guys, let's not do this again. Have a great night.
Yeah, streams.
I will be
Guys,
hiding in chat.
Please throw your love in chat to Delilah, who really helped make this stream start off on a interesting but fun note. We couldn't have done it without her, so thank you so much, Delilah, for helping out.
Thank you,
All right.
Delilah.
Well, once
And
again,
then if our trackers can hear, please just click one item off and put it back on again. It should fix the trackers on the restream.
all right. So once again, thank you all for putting up with the technical issues. There shouldn't be any other troubles throughout the rest of this run. 30 minutes in so far, and we'll keep you up to date on the action here today. I once again am Dr. Bobtastic, joined by a VXR 441 on commentary, and let's get to it.
I'm thinking Song of Time was at Ranch because that's really the only
That makes sense.
place it could really be.
Right. Yeah, I remember now. One Shot was at Ranch for a while there. So yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Siri.
And that means that Exodus should be picking that up rather soon. Now, another thing to keep in mind for those of you who are newer to Season 4 is good old Ganon's Tower or Ganon's Castle becomes a lot more relevant in this particular flag set on account of only needing 2 medallions to get in. And we started with 1, so there you go. And that's another reason that lift may have come in early, because maybe it's the second of 3 that we need.
Yep. Strength 3 has a lot more value in these settings compared to past.
So is this when I finally get to announce the reason that I chose these runners in the first place, because I didn't get to earlier due to restream issues?
Go ahead.
It was totally planned to have this like really awesome start, and then the restream had other options. Basically, I chose these 4 runners. They all still have at least 1 race left. This could be their last race. I think it is for... Actually, I think it's just the last race for Gogeta that will count for points. But all 4 of them are within the 33 to 64 range in the current ranking system. And they're about, I think, less than 200 points away from the 32nd spot.
Uh-huh.
So there's a chance for any of these runners, depending on how well they do, to make it into that top 32 spot. So it's really an interesting thing. We want to keep an eye on some of these runners. They haven't been featured at all during the qualifiers either, so it's kind of cool to see how they do. But I really wanted to point that out to the restream and explain kind of why they were chosen for this one in particular.
Well, all right then. Good luck to all of the runners here, and hopefully they'll put up a reasonable performance toward that goal.
And at this point, it seems like a lot of the runners are just retracing each other's steps.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Exodus is now picking up Skull Mask.
All right, so Skull Mask is a go. And Gogeta also picking up the Mirror Shield there.
Is my cat's stream dead?
No, it's not dead. It's just a little... It's coming off of a CRT, apparently.
Oh, it's completely frozen. For me, it's completely frozen.
Well, that...
No, it is
Let
still
me
running.
I'll refresh the
I see
comms
fine
page
over
and
here.
see if-
Mike Catch just likes to give us that classic grainy look, you know, from our old school TVs when this game first came out.
All right, so Gogeta is
Alright,
gonna
refreshing it fixed.
doing a pretty complicated setup to get this jump to the iron boots here, but gets them just fine. And so those are the dreaded stone dungeon items that we found in Zora's River here. Both the iron boots and the mirror shield. And one shot over Mido there as well, pretty good. And by that I mean he did it in one shot. Or Gogeta did it in one shot. One shot is beating King Dodongo right now.
Let me update the way of the hero command to get that fourth one in. Alright, should be up to date now.
You could just tell me I have it open.
I have Node open too. I was just checking just to check delays.
All you people
Make
with
sure
your
I'm not-
fancy controls.
Not
I'm just here to
jumping
talk.
not jumping ahead of everyone.
VXR over here just trying to steal my job. I guess I should just leave.
Oh, you don't have to leave.
All right. So Mike Cat's just checked the ferry on top of Death Mountain. I'm not sure if anyone else had been up there with both an explosive device and Zelda's Lullaby, but who knows?
We have 84 entrants in this race.
That is a lot of entrants. There's Mike Cat's picking up the Kikiri sword, which, as we stated before, is actually relevant in these settings. You do have to have that to get into Deku Tree in
Good
this
old butter knife.
particular setting.
My cat's is going child. Let's see if we can see what's on the lake here.
Right, so
I could not see
kind
what
of
that
look
was.
like fire arrows.
It was hard for me to see. One shot is going into Fire Temple.
That is an interesting play here. It's,
See if we
I mean, without the hammer, there's a very limited amount of things you can do in here. But you could still have like actual vanilla hammer, which would be kind of like the worst.
Yeah. Especially since you get hammer locked pretty frequently in this dungeon.
Coming in here expecting to do like 2 or 3 chests is not the worst idea. Holy
That
crap!
paid out.
Jesus Christ on a pogo stick. That was the boomerang.
That also tells us we're hammer locked, so we cannot come back here until we have the hammer.
Lord Banana has graced us with his presence. And the music that you were hearing from One Shot was from Ace Attorney.
Yeah, we still gotta find that Ruto's letter as well.
Like Exodus is gonna check all the South Hyrule grottos now. Got plenty to choose.
Yep. If I had to guess, I'd say that Ruto's letter is probably
There's a
in
bow.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, a bow in one of the grottos out in the Hyrule Field, the Scrub Salesman Grotto. Yeah, if I had to guess where Ruto's letter is, I'd say it's probably the way of the hero item in GTG. But don't hold me to it. It could be the Paradox letter.
Absolutely. Wait, yeah.
Zora's Domain is also the hero.
Yeah.
The
Bombchu
plot
Bowling-
thickens.
Bombchu Bowling didn't turn up anything.
Yeah, we saw Chu Bowling from Exodus a little while ago.
Eh.
You know, because of all the issues that were happening, I didn't realize that Vanilla Bomb Bag, and that is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only thing in TC.
That
I think
is hilarious.
I think that was the first thing I actually mentioned when people started hearing me on stream was, oh, shout outs to actual Vanilla Bomb Bag.
One shot getting clocked by the Moblin.
I mean,
Oops.
It's not the first time I've seen that, though. You know,
Oh yeah, I've seen Vanilla Bomb Bags plenty of times.
Vanilla Kokiri Sword and Iron Boots. Oof.
Yes, Mr. Nintendo, we've never had magic on the trackers.
The reason
Yeah, we
magic
could just-
isn't on the tracker is you can see it directly on the screen.
that's reasonable.
Now, my Cats is going for the second Hyrule Castle hint, which in these settings is really out of the way because you immediately get the song from Impa, and there's really no reason to come here.
I mean, what if you
hint.
really, 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 really want a Skulltula?
You never know. It could be a 50. I mean, this of course, this seed 30, 40, 50 are dead, but you never know. You could have a 50 out of 50 Skull Seed. And Big Goron is dead, so it's really all of our important hints, just missing a couple sometimes. And
And the Ice Arrows picked up by one shot as well, because why not? So, the only person with a bow is Exodus, and he's about to take that Kokiri sword and go make work of Deku Tree real quick.
It's a lot of quick and easy checks, and
Mhm.
required. Plus, it's also a little out of the way, so finding a time that you could just make it over here with the items you need for it, just get it out of the way. You don't have to come running this direction again.
Yep. I believe that's gonna. Okay, no, we have lift upgrade or 2 lifts for everyone except Gogeta right now.
Delilah, it's going.
What was Saria's song? So, what do you mean by that? So, we know that Saria's song itself is on the Ocarina of Time. The song that was at Saria's song was ZL, I believe.
Too early, to say if it's garbage yet. I mean, a lot of the bad checks are dead. But this is
Yeah.
a Jason seed, so I expect the worst.
I mean, garbage is in the eye of the beholder,
Golmath
and I behold in this garbage.
Just got only a Deku Shield from Skull Mask, so that was unfortunate.
Rogue Copter with the expert advice of don't stick garbage in your eye.
Oh my gosh, One Shot's music.
I guess I should have that going so I can get the experience with Russia. That is a lens of truth.
Lens.
And with early magic, we could...
And a hook shot.
Hook shot. Forget the lens. What about the hook shot?
I mean, yeah, that's certainly a thing. So
And yet
now
we get a DC wave the hero for bomb bag.
Yeah. Yep, we can do Forest Temple now. It's his capture card. That's probably the reason for that. Looking
I
like
imagine
it's
so.
watching a VHS.
I like the explanation there.
So another thing that Exodus will gain from having completed Deku Tree, of course, is a second medallion, which of course is going to grant access toward Gen's castle. So if we find another lift upgrade over here, I'm just going to be like, all right, you know what it's time for. Also, Mike Cat's also in Deku Tree while I wasn't paying any attention.
Exodus is closing in on 10 skulls. We getting it here?
Recoil strats. Seems legit. And it's Goma time. Not bothering to break the stick here.
You got Kokiri sword, so they're really you just
Right.
store it. Deku Jump
Right.
Slash.
I completely forget about these sort of things.
I mean, in these settings, you're always going to have Kokiri sword when
Exactly.
you're fighting Goma.
Yeah, there's a reason I've only done one of these.
Yeah.
The new ones, anyway. All right.
So we got lunge and
Exodus.
hook shot out of Deku.
Yep. And of course, Lens does put that one check in logic.
One check in the market.
So wait, did we find something in Graveyard?
Minuet is the only thing we've found so far.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it could be that there's something important in Forest Temple that you need to get to. Or really just to get Nocturne of Shadow.
Because something in there locks all dungeon completion, I assume.
Yeah, something to that effect.
Which at this point looks like it's only Long shot. If we have strength 2 and excuse me, strength 2 and mirror, I think the only thing that would lock AD at this point is long shot.
Yeah, we're either long shot or hover boots from being able to get the spirit.
Hover boots too.
Oh,
Well, the long
yeah,
shot's
that's
needed
true,
for
too.
water.
Yes, CL is required for Shadow.
Yes, but ZL was the Saria's song check, so that's not locked behind Minuet.
Yeah, just looking at our layout, so Shadow, Jabu, and Fire are what lock Requiem. So, which and Spirits of Stone.
Mhm.
So it could be Minuet. Otherwise, I think the only other check left in Graveyard now is Sunsong Grave.
Correct.
Yep. I mean, if I found Sunsong, I'd be pretty tempted to go back and check that when I got it. But of course, it's probably over at Ice Cavern or whatever.
Probably.
I mean, Sunsong Grave is my specialty.
Yep. Ice, Prelude, or Colossus. F3 songs, which are songs, right? Serenade.
One Shot is, in fact, purchasing some beans here, just in case.
And going along with what Rogue says here, like if you have Zelda's Lullaby or Nocturne of Shadow on OT, you have to do all dungeons. There's just no way around it.
Right.
But today it's Saria's song, so there's only one check left that could make this hard AD. Since Goron City's foolish and Frogs 2 is dead.
Mm-hmm. So basically, if there's something dumb like light arrows on Skull Kid or something.
Yeah.
You call that dumb. I call that exciting.
I call that a Jason seed.
Well,
Exodus finally picking up Zelda's Lullaby. Probably the last of our runners to do so. A little unfortunate, but he also managed to clear out several important dungeons beforehand. Deciding to head over to the graveyard area now. I imagine to get that song.
Yep. Got two people going up river, probably going to get our first look at Domain soon.
Yep. And of course, with as we know, the Zora's Domain is in fact Way of the Hero, so there are two items we could get here right now, and a third as adult later.
What is One Shot's music? It sounds familiar, but I don't know. Okay. Oh, there goes the chicken.
bye, chicken.
Yeah, Pokemon battle, okay.
Um, It's Pokemon, but it's not a battle. It's it's an area, a cave of some kind. I can't remember. Anyway.
Oh,
Gonna refresh that.
Another DC Way of the Hero hint. And we're going diving.
Exodus, the stream is broken a few times already today. Let's not break it some more. Thanks.
All right, Gogeta also picking up that hook shot, so once again, more attractive options opening up there.
alright, one shot has collected all the rupees, and we'll now light the torches.
Yep,
And
time for
Exodus
the-
is going to Forest Temple.
Ooh.
Interesting. I mean, with the bow and the lift and the hook shot, that is... And given the fact that he just found Minuet in Graveyard and knows its way of the hero, that seems like a reasonable play.
Assumes it's way of the hero.
Well, knows Graveyard is way of the hero,
Oh.
not necessarily the song. Sorry, my antecedent was not precise.
You're fine. I'll just, never forgive you.
There's Ruto's letter.
That's best
like-
place for it's the best place
You
for it.
sent it to the wrong person.
And
There's
that-
a claim check.
Okay, that claim check's not way of the hero.
Sad. We're so close. Zora's Domain, way of the hero for Ruto's letter, but unfortunately,
Okay.
not to King Zora.
Beautiful.
I mean, Paradox letter isn't as exciting with the fact that you can get into GT with 2 medallions.
GT or Ganon's Castle?
That Gan's Castle. I've played too much Link to the Past lately. Shut up.
I mean, you could technically get into Ganon's Tower.
True.
There's only the one item in there.
Yeah. You make a good point. The hammer, no. We still need Din's Fire. We need Hover Boot.
And the hammer and the light arrows.
Hammer and light arrows, yep.
My guess is at least one of those is in Gerudo Training Grounds. I know, it's a bold prediction.
I wonder why you would think that.
Oh, there's
There's
Din.
Din's Fire in Forest Temple. Hello. Exodus with the play. I mean, Forest Temple had to be done anyway, right? And it's really not getting any faster.
There's our other OoT hint. First person going into the job room. They're not dipping. They're gonna clear it.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're just gonna open this
Free
door. and then-
boomerang. Wow, One Shot made some pretty nice calls here with the quick dip into fire to get the boomerang.
Yeah, that could be a huge factor in what sets him apart from others.
If Hammer
least
is
on the
in
restream.
here, if Hammer is actually in here, I'm gonna lose my mind.
We
It's
just saw
coming back
20
all the way to Jabu is not very.
We just saw that 20 skulls is dead.
Oh, jeez.
Interesting.
Who needs skulls this seed?
And happy 1 hour, everyone. Another bow.
That's a different bow.
I'm guessing that was the fountain just outside of Jabu here.
Mike Cat's
Yeah.
making the wise decision not to dip Jabu because Boomerang is not vanilla today.
Mm-hmm. I would only really consider it if I had Ferora's Wind.
Yeah.
So who's ready for hammer on Boomerang Chest?
That would be dumb, and I love it.
Gosh. Sadie, we need long shot or hovers to cross the sand in the wasteland.
Yeah, I did learn the other day how to get around that, but how about no?
I'm sure any of these runners could do it.
Double
But I mean,
forest.
to get to that silly, the stone spirit out there, I don't think I'd be tempted one bit.
All right, there's a Goron tunic.
Hey,
Not
free
seen
tunic.
No wallet yet.
I'll take it. Notably, with the fewer tunic requirements on that Boomerang did not require the Goron tunic.
Right. Only to go up that elevator in Fire Temple. That's beyond that. That's where the Goron tunic is required in fewer tunic requirements, as well as Volvagia.
Alright. Now we'll get to see the moment of truth on this Boomerang chest here.
Will they be forced to double dip fire?
Alright, one box ready to open. Nope.
And just a bleed. All right.
Aww.
Big old bucket of nope.
Sad day.
Though,
There's the Din's Fire for Mike Katz.
though you could still have something like hammer on actual Baronade, which would be just hilarious.
Yeah.
Forcing people to do that short dip into fire.
Vanilla Hammer, let's go. The real question is, will we be able to do a bet for anything?
Hopefully later on.
Yeah, there's no way to have actual vanilla hammer.
Yes, I know.
I was sitting here thinking, like, wait, it's only 2 chests. You need 3 keys. I'm confused. Right.
Yeah, yes, I know. That's why I was joking. Hammer on Morpha.
Oh gosh.
Who hurt you?
It's like I think it's for the sake of the runners, that's a good thing Sora's Domain's Way of the Air, because that if it wasn't, that'd be a really nasty route of
Oh,
fire.
absolutely.
You hold off on it, trying to hope to get the Ruto's letter before having to come up here, and I mean, I'm cool with a hammer on Skull Kid.
Yeah, Hammer on Skull Kid does sound like the sort of thing people
Yeah.
would be interested in seeing. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely.
So are we expecting like long shot in Shadow Temple or something that locks long shot in Shadow?
Could be.
I'm expecting it in Forest Temple because why not?
Well, Minuet Way of the Hero to get Nocturne and Din's Fire makes me think there's something in Shadow.
Could be.
I wish for the finals they would sneak in a hard plando instead of the season 2 finals seemed like a plando. Vegeta getting their first magic.
That's an interesting spot for it. Guess they decided not to go to Garua Valley, which makes plenty of sense. Ooh, my cat's missing the recoil there onto the it's the Floor Master room. Unfortunate there. I'm still not convinced Qualifier 1 wasn't a plando.
You're welcome.
It was Hookshot Rogue.
And that seed also rolled by me.
All right. Very. Oh, a little early on that boomerang shot for one shot.
Yeah, now he's gonna have to do 2 shots.
Maybe even 3.
Well, make it 3.
Yeah.
Angry shield flicking.
Yeah.
Don't shield flick it, Baronade. This is your fault.
A Cub Seed with Fire Chickens leading the long shot was... I can't really see. Fucking right now. Not 3, it wasn't that. It was more recent.
Anyway. So, one shot about to finish off Baronade, and Exodus is about to finish off Forest Temple. So we're finding all sorts of progress being made. Of course, those few items still eluding us.
Oh, we're getting Lens game.
Oh,
put your guesses in chat.
Jink.
Didn't give very often.
All right.
All these people putting left first. Alright, we're right left. I think VXR, Legend of Paula are the only ones still in it. Oh, not just VXR. Rigged.
Rip.
Ah.
Okay, anyways, let's see which... 2 weeks ago. That was qualifier number... qualifier number 8, I think it was. Yeah.
Not required. One shot gonna pick up his bow here.
Seems good. Meanwhile, over on X's screen, we're about to see a bow put to good use.
I can finally mark child spawn. Because the child spawn is coming out of Bombshoe Bowling. Thanks, Gogeta.
Good Jorb.
Lost key in the last check in Forest. What a shocker.
Yeah. I mean, if I'd have been, doing this whole, paying attention thing, I would have known that. And it's time for Phantom Ganon.
Oh yeah, there's the clip of that save they were talking about.
All right.
Oh.
Exodus missing one of the shots there on Phantom Ganon.
Yeah, I
Using the
believe
hook shot to do so.
You could have hammer on the crater fairy because you spawn inside it, inside the fairy fountain.
Huh. Yeah, that is
100% taken into logic.
That being said, surely somebody would have done that by now.
Yeah, about that.
I don't remember seeing anyone saying. I don't remember seeing it. Oh.
Yeah, that's
If you spawn
interesting
inside the
possibility.
fairy, yes, it's in logic to do. If you spawn outside the fairy, well, you're screwed.
Ah, okay. Exodus having a tennis match over here.
And takes him down.
Meanwhile, One Shot is heading over to Gerudo Fortress. We know that the fortress itself is not useful, but the good old Gerudo Training Grounds definitely has something in it.
Yep. Looks like Forest just had Din's Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Din's Fire is definitely not nothing.
Yep, we needed to get into Shadow Temple.
Now, because we know Gerudo's Fortress is not Way of the Hero, or his foolish choice, we know that we will not have to get that chest on top, and we will not have to do any horseback archery. So fans of the horseback archery game, sorry, that's not happening today.
Rip.
I was actually wondering if Exodus was going to dip into Shadow there, playing Nocturne, but choosing to go somewhere else instead.
Looks like adult archery game. Maybe he'll also check 10 skulls. I don't know if he's done that yet.
All right.
Yeah, I have never seen bow to the face strats on the Gerudo guard.
It works pretty well if you don't have hook shot. Oh yeah, this is going to be hook shotless GTG from One Shot.
Ooh. Fun times.
There's light arrows.
Hello. Alright, at least that means that if our other runners, leave that behind, it won't be too long before they figure out what that is upon reaching Ganon himself, or Ganondorf, rather.
So that puts us to 2 items from Go Mode.
Still an unfulfilled Way of the Hero.
And Gogeta in Ice Cavern. Or heading to Ice Cavern.
Yeah, that is
Interesting play.
yes. That is precisely the terminology I was going to use for the play myself. I did not see what that is, but clearly Gogeta is not interested.
Yeah, I couldn't tell myself, but leaving that behind, who needs it?
Light arrows were an adult shooting. I don't think one shot got that rupee.
I think I heard the little noise at the very end.
I didn't.
We'll find out.
Oh, I got it. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, so step one is let the wall master grab you and get you out of there. Step two is get through this fire wall.
Nice. Get that first try.
I mean, granted, I never learned a setup for that, so I don't know a setup, but that's not the one I've seen.
Yeah, a lot of people just YOLO it.
As is pointed out, the only way this could be an AD seed is if Hammer is on Skull Kid.
Can it be hovers?
I suppose. It depends, I think, maybe on where Requiem is.
And where Long Shadows, too.
Or where Longshot is, but...
Yeah, long shot would be the thing, because we know where Requiem is.
It can't be Longshot on Skull Kid, for sure. So it could be hovers. But then I think that would mean there'd have to be something else in Graveyard.
Alright, so one shot is going to get to see what's behind our giant block over here. Now, Exodus is going to be into Rudo Training Ground shortly as well, but will not have to do the shenanigans to get through without the hook shot. Oops.
Get the must not getting eaten by the like.
Yeah, actually, could Minuet be Way of the Hero to get Dins from Forest? Because you need Dins for Key.
There's our hover boots.
Hover
Well,
boots.
yeah, there's the hovers.
Alright.
Hover boots inside Rudo Training Grounds, which is a thing that surprises actually no one.
Alright, well, hang on one sec. I'm doing this first. Just so I can say we got a bet in. This is the only item we know we need. Where is the hammer?
That's thinking about it.
Dom, you messed up your bet.
That.
There you go. But the comment that was made, I think, saying Dins is 100% needed for Shadow Graveyard has been fulfilled. Not necessarily, because...
Oh, never mind!
Well, never mind. You know...
I typed in my bet, and then that happened.
You know...
1 hour, 20-minute no mode.
What is this scene?
Yeah. About that.
So 2 unrequired stone dungeons, 2 unrequired optional dungeons.
Yeah, this
nothing in Ganon's Castle.
This is the fastest thing I've seen, probably ever. Not gonna lie.
I wonder if we'll get a sub 2.
Jesus.
We've already
think
had we've already had 5 forfeits.
I think I'll lose my restreamer rolling privileges. I feel ashamed now.
Slingshot and Vanilla Serenade out of ice.
Yeah, we're just gonna go with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Hookshot was in the Slingshot chest in Deckentry.
I think this'll put Exodus, I think, probably in the lead now.
Yeah. Once he gets that hammer and decides to go to Fire Temple, then he'll be, in what we call real good shape.
Yeah.
Hopefully he just doesn't decide to go on to Spirit from here. I mean, I might respect someone who went just to grab the song, in case it's like Serenade for transportation purposes, but I don't know.
And King Zora just giving us a piece of heart.
We also know it's not, but yeah, Forest and Shadow definitely going to slow you down no matter what. It would still be pretty fast, let's put it that way.
So bet for finish time?
That's not gonna get us anything.
All it's gonna get is for them to check other things they don't need to check.
Exactly.
Not that it matters. Looks like toilet's our last key.
Yeah, I am ashamed, Arrow.
The polar opposite of Qualifier 1. Mike was death warping so he could get back up to here easily.
Yeah. Now, go ahead.
I was just say I compensated for the delay by giving them a jet seed.
Yeah, the broadcast is going to be all of like an hour and a half. So anyway, so the one issue that One Shot has is he has not located the Kikiri sword.
Yeah.
Which is just sitting in Death Mountain Trail. Once you have that, you can easily get to Deku Tree, finish that out, get the hook shot, and then do the rest of your business. But
Right, I'm going to
go ahead.
I'm going to be back in a couple minutes.
All right.
That. I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. I'm sorry. I was trying to do this.
All right. So Exodus now finishing out the
There.
Gerudo Training Grounds area. So we'll get to see where Exodus goes from here. Basically, if Exodus decides to go back to Fire Temple from here, that will basically put him on a direct path to the end of this game.
So now there's a bet going for estimated first place finish time.
Alright, so Exodus is going to Shadow Temple, which is certainly not surprising. He's got everything he needs for it. But that is
probably
going to, waste a bunch of time. But Shadow Temple's going to waste a bunch of time anyway.
Hey, I am back. And it looks like we have a bet open for finish time.
Yes.
Alright, let's...
Fire Bosky will be on Pierre to restore balance.
That would be kind of gross.
Well, Skull Kid was hinted dead.
Ah, that's depressing. Whatever the correct time is, minus 1 second.
That's not the right command. Skull Kid was 20 bombs, I believe. And we got Fun Song from Colossus, so that means Song of Storms is on Prelude.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't going to get us anything.
Sure ain't.
Here's one shot's going into Stone Spirit.
Uh-oh. That's unfortunate.
Still no hook shot, so can't check the compass chest.
Maybe he'll be key locked out.
That would be the best case scenario for him.
My kiddiness hovers.
Okay.
Alright.
So one shot is in fact key locked out of Spirit, so.
Yep. Fires the next play, makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, he's missing the hook shot out of Deku. Because he's missing the sword.
Right. Now, there is nothing that says we couldn't find another hook shot somewhere around here.
Right.
I'm expecting it here in Shadow.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Because otherwise, Minuet, I don't think would have been the way of the hero.
Is that banger of a Fire Temple song again on One Shot stream?
All right. Mike Cat's also picking up the hammer here.
Like he's
Doing
still
some
missing
good.
Boomerang.
Oh. Phoenix right time. Okay, cool.
Objection.
I object to this seed.
I don't think the runners object.
Fair enough.
Well, some of them probably will.
Yeah,
Getting our Phoenix Fright lovers out in chat there.
Alright, we got Gogeta finishing up Forest Temple here, having located Din's Fire. That's all he'll get out of there.
Nice wallet and fire temple.
Seems legit.
Not tunic locked though.
Yeah, this could be big for Exodus if this ends up being a really high finish for him.
Mm-hmm.
Exodus is like right at the top of like the Challenge Cup standings currently. Depending on the finish times of other people and himself, this could push him into top 32. And he still has one race left after this, so...
Exodus continuing his way through Shadow Temple now.
Yep. And every single one of our runners is going to have to make this play through here.
Yeah.
There's very little chance of being able to skip anything in Shadow Temple, unfortunately.
Yeah. They might be able to skip the back, but that depends on key layout.
Well, and Exodus is still looking for Boomerang and Ruto,
Yeah,
so...
If anyone comes here and go. But Exodus will full clear Shadow. Oh. And Void's out.
Now, if Exodus manages to, once he gets to Fire Temple, if he finds the Boomerang.
Boomerang was the first chest on fire.
Yeah, it's the very first chest. There's a very good chance that he will assume that the remaining item he needs is the item in Zora's domain, and then he can just bail. Though we still haven't found a boss key here, so it could take a hot minute before you can go mode this place.
Yep. Like Mike's gonna cross the wasteland. Eventually get baited. Yeah, looks like he might get baited into spirit. I don't blame him. He got strength 2 and Mirror's Shield so early in this seed.
Luckily, it's a very quick spirit check, so it doesn't waste you a ton of time here.
Although he does have hook shot, so he can check the compass chest.
This chest for one shot, I believe, is guaranteed to be a small key at this point. Oh no, it's the boss key, which means there's a key on the boss.
Yep.
Trying to figure out what configuration of items you wanted to put there.
Nothing in the wasteland.
So that's a relatively quick fire temple, considering you don't have to go to the top.
Yeah, will one shot continue after defeating Volvagia? We'll have to find out.
Question.
So I think that boss key's really at the threshold of what I consider deep fire.
Yeah, once you have to start checking Pierre and the top of the maze and all that mess, that's definitely fire.
Pirate's Fortress music. One shot showing off the chew strats for Volvagia.
Yeah, you can definitely get in more hits that way.
Very quick Volvagia kill.
I also just realized that my bet was still open.
Nice going.
Let's close that.
There's the
Oops.
boss key, but yeah, no one's going to be able to go mode Shadow today.
Still one small key remaining.
So will one shot keep going in fire or bail?
I feel like this is a bailing moment if I was doing it, just because it's kind of a pain to get back up there. That being said, who knows? I sure don't. Oh yeah, he bailing.
Now will he get the Kokiri sword while he's
question.
still up on the mountain?
Well,
Well, apparently he's going to turn in the claim check.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, the only big Orion hint we've seen was Hyrule Castle 2, and that's not a good place for that hint. It makes sense. Domain founded in way of the Euro domain.
Hey, look, Sun Song Grave. Nope.
Menu
One
at
shot's
his way of
bailing
the Euro.
away. One shot's bailing away from the Kokiri sword.
Oh, that is unfortunate, considering how sort of ubiquitous that check ends up being. Like, it's one of the. I don't remember skipping that particular check ever. That's what I'm saying.
Especially when you full clear stone DC and get your bomb bag there. Like, I feel like you would go up and check that.
Oh, we are going to yeet that rock.
All right.
Very quickly. Quick eats.
So it's very interesting to me to see what Exodus does next year.
I mean, I imagine fire. Fire's the next full progression.
What was what, Mr. Nintendo?
Was it the very quick eat where they reduced the cutscene on that?
Yeah, they sped up the lifting that up in 6.0.
So
Yeah,
far
we
as
found-
went inside the water trial in Gen's castle. One shot's gonna eat this rock too. Very nicely done with the
Yeah, this
quick
music
kill.
does not hit Cannon's Castle. Okay, that is a bomb-locked bomb bag.
Yeah,
I would-
very
I would-
nicely done with the quick kill on Bongo there for Exodus.
Yeah, 100% agree.
It is not easy with Master Sword. You have to have what people call rhythm, which is not something I necessarily have.
I like that.
Oh, another slingshot.
Like that. Gogeta had a really nice green bomb chew trail.
Keep in mind that slingshot is actually required logically for something that was required this seed.
Alright, Light Trial is a load of nothing.
If you set foot in fire trial, you're doing it wrong.
No checks in there.
Exodus not going fire. Going back child.
Oh,
Probably
he's
gonna go check that Zora
gonna-
domain with. Oh no, maybe
Oh.
just getting this.
Yeah, getting Song of Storms.
all right. Where are we going? We're going to
Yeah,
fire.
there's the fire. There's the
Alright.
fire. Yeah, I forgot he had just gotten Forest Medallion, so he was getting the song. Just in case.
He's going to be pleasantly surprised by the contents of the first chest, though it may not be the first chest he checks.
It will not be.
Once he's done here, he'll head over to the left side, I'm sure. Check that and find the boomerang.
Alright, where is Exodus going now?
Well,
Is this a water play? Could be water. No.
Oh, you mean Gogeta? Yeah, Gogeta
Oh, yeah,
is
Gogeta.
Gogeta's down there at
Looks like there's
in the
Probably had
water
to
temple
GTG.
area, but definitely not going there. Yeah.
This will be a GTG play for sure.
Yeah, calling Epona.
Definitely gonna do Gogeta some good as well.
Boomerang was the first check in Fire Temple.
Boomerang is the locked Goron cell next to the boss. So it's not going to be the first one that Exodus checks, but it's the first one that's available. And down goes the Flare Dancer. One
Exodus
shot is about
will-
to go. Sorry.
Exodus will hopefully find Boomerang soon, and then head to Javu, and then head to knows Zora's Domain's Way of the Hero. Hasn't found anything there yet.
If he can piece that together and make sure not to go anywhere else, he'll be doing himself a favor.
Yeah,
Rudolph
Exodus
Letter
I'd say is
On
ahead.
diving game.
Exodus would be the one ahead here. I think Mike Katz is like right, basically following his trail. Obviously still needs the light arrows. And then Gogeta, I would say, is right behind Mike Katz. Still need to go to GTG and then do exactly what Mike Katz is doing. One shot.
Looks like he's going back to fire.
This might be a fired play.
Oh,
It
okay.
might be something different. If one shot gets the Kokiri sword, this could be an interesting like turn of events. But we'll see.
All right, Exodus has now acquired the boomerang. All he needs is Ruto's letter, which we know to be inside Zora's domain on the diving game. And he knows that Zora's domain is Way of the Hero, so you can definitely see him heading there as soon as he finishes up with fire here. Gogeta's running around doing a few grottos here. Looks like before heading out to Gerudo Training Grounds.
All right, looks like one shot's the next one to head to ice.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, skipping that one chest in just Death Mountain Trail containing the Kakiri sword, which is preventing him from finishing or being put on that track, at least. If he gets the Kakiri sword and goes to Deku, he's going to be literally on rails to the end of the game.
Ice isn't going to get him anything, though, unfortunately, other than Furores and Serenade.
Now, Furores in Gen's Castle.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. It was in the water trial room. And
right. It was a slingshot that was in... there was another slingshot inside Ice Cavern, so...
Yeah, I saw the water trial room and my mind stuck it to ice, and I haven't been able to get it back out of my head.
and you know we mentioned there being something in ice, so it's just like that's a technical term.
Very much so. We use only the most technical of terms here.
Somehow I just never considered setting up the ground jump across the way and then using the hover boots to do that. I don't know what's wrong with my brain. That's what Exodus did. And this is why I elected not to actually do the full 5 of these.
I don't really think One Shot's music really fits for Ice Cavern.
Alright. So Exodus will get the key here, and we'll get the boss key in the next chest.
Oh, gets frozen.
I believe I speak for everyone when I say ice keys can jump off a bridge.
Yeah,
It
this
wouldn't really hurt them. They can fly.
Pretty much the most annoying room in the game. All the ice keys, the freezers.
Alright, Exodus acquiring that boss key and heading downstairs. So, if you're a fan of Exodus, what you want to see after this is an immediate prelude.
Okay, does the next one into GTG.
So Gogeta's going to pick up a metric buttload of things here. The hover boots and hammer specifically. I mean, it's a megaton hammer, so it's heavy. Anyway.
Yep.
This should do it for Exodus. As far as
Medallion.
Volvagia goes.
Yeah, just still needs Rudos, but knows that Thor's Domain's way of the hero.
And so this is a good sign. You see him not even picking up the small key here. So he's got to figure that he's essentially go mode without actually having it. All right, an immediate prelude, as we said before.
Yep, he's going straight for it.
And just, a diving game and a Jabu away here. You said that these runners were in the 33 to 64 range overall, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Exodus hitting, top 5, top 10 here pretty easily.
Well, so Exodus is listed as 41 currently.
Mm-hmm.
Still has 2 races, this one being one of them, so one more race after this. Like, even if Exodus were to get like a top first place finish here, which is still very possible, just assuming it's like 1,050 points kind of thing, that would, let's see what that would do for him. Quick maths. Let's see how that would affect his score. That would take his score right now, which is at 3485 up to 3559.
All right.
If he gets anything more than 932 points on this, he would get that, which would put him... It would take him from 41st to 27th.
Wow.
I mean, that's seeming pretty
if,
likely at this point based on our sample size. But that being said, we're not watching everyone.
And we're only watching 4 people.
And again, that's if he gets anything higher than 932 points from this race.
And then you said he would have that boost race, so he could definitely try to go higher, and then that would potentially affect the next race at that point. Yeah,
very much so. With only 2 races left to go, like this is why these runners were chosen for this.
Yep.
Because these ones are on the cusp here. I think the only one, Gogeta is the only one who this is their last race. Everyone else still has one more race after this. Oh, there's the lights for one shot. Still needs to get that Kokiri sword. And keeps going further and further away.
Yeah, Prelude of Light is not how you get Kokiri sword. So Exodus is going to go ahead and light the torches using Jin's Fire, which is perfectly reasonable way of doing so, but it's not. This is not the thing that contains Ruto's letter.
No, I mean I completely understand doing it versus the diving game. If he gets Ruto's letter here, it's like okay, cool.
Can save a lot of time. Boomerang's the first check and
gonna
fire.
Grab the fish? That's the question.
Diving game had letter. Oh, Gogeta's setting Fourth Wind and is gonna leave.
Interesting. I mean, he did, based on what I'm seeing here, he did go ahead and grab the hammer and hover boots, so it should be fine.
They go to fire after this immediately. They'll be in go mode.
First, we show our bean to the sun, and then we plant it.
Yep.
That's how you do.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Here it is, chat. Go mode!
2.
And X is turning around to go grab a fish.
I think he was a little just shocked. Like, oh, wait, hang on, gotta go get the fish.
Yeah.
All right, so Exodus will be, Jabu takes, if you're go moding Jabu, it takes a little bit less time. Let's see. Jabu takes, maybe 8-9 minutes. And then the climb up Gan's Tower and all that mess takes about 5-6. This is going to be pretty fast time.
Yeah.
I just realized the major unfortunate thing about One Shot with having turned in that claim check. I think.
Yeah, he has no reason
that
to
Kokiri
believe.
sword is the only thing there, except for the Storm's Grotto, which is locked by Shadow, which is of course hookshot locked.
There's a good chance he thinks he's gotten that chest at this point. That would be my.
Yeah, this could be bad.
Yeah, One Shot has orphaned that one check, unfortunately. Gogeta, what are you doing?
Here's Skull Mask for One Shot.
Oof. We know for a fact that Skull Mask is garbage. All right, Exodus gonna deal with our tentacle friends.
Happy 2 hours.
I was sitting here thinking, do we have I seen that anime? Our tentacle friends? Anyway. All right, Gogeta halfway through Shadow. We know Shadow didn't really have much to write home about. Had that extra slingshot. Speaking of slingshot, one shot, doing 3 shots to get a heart piece.
Playing Nocturne, could this be chickens, maybe?
Ooh,
I don't think we've seen chickens.
yeah, chickens have been avoided like the actual plague. Which, to be fair, is a not inaccurate way of describing them.
Yep, here's chickens.
All right, Exodus on to Big Octo. Once again, be a pretty quick fight. It's a lot of intentional damage taking here in Jabu Jabu. And for fans of the chickens, here they are on one-shot screen.
Yeah.
There's people that are fans of chickens?
I mean, we haven't seen the other hook shot. This, you never know. There's Mike's boomerang.
That's go mode for Mike, I believe. Because Mike had already gone and gotten Naruto's letter.
Yep.
So that's go mode for Mike Katz.
Nice. And just a bloopy.
Well, I think while we're watching these, we should give a nice shout out to our trackers today. We have Sadie Sweet, Winnie Demon, MC Paula, and Ginger Sony, who is who are tracking our runners here today. We greatly appreciate their time spent doing this, and it's not really much time. This has been a short seed. It's unusual for me. I'm not used to that.
Yeah, well, our condolences to whoever's tracking one shot. But that being said,
whoa, wait a minute.
One Shot is on Death Mountain Trail at the moment.
Yeah, I think he's got.
Are we doing it? One Shot's not going to be happy seeing this, I think.
Just don't get knocked off the mountain. I've had that happen to me before.
Yeah, he's getting it. There you go.
He's going to minuet out of
this
there.
Will get in the hook shot.
And we get Dins out of forest, and yeah, Dins will be their go mode.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
Exodus picking up the 6th medallion. I think you and I were both just saying the same thing.
Precisely. And 2 hours and 5 minutes right there. So we're just going to head to the Temple of Time, pull the sword, grab the boss key, and get out. I will add, I mean, as long as ZSR bot's not broken, nobody's finished yet.
I don't believe ZSR bot's not broken, but I can also confirm nobody has finished.
That bot's working.
Well, yes, it just posted the tracker one.
Here's the boss key for Exodus. Ganon's Castle boss key for Exodus.
And it is now time to climb the tower.
I need Exodus to die like maybe 2 times for my bet.
Wow.
So Exodus, hoping for that first place finish. I can imagine the heart is pounding right now.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
You know, obviously there's still 2 more qualifiers that could change things up, but this could be the race that puts Exodus in top 32. There's the lens. There's one shot standing on a chest. And the hook shot.
Alright, Exodus using spin strats to take care of the Lizalfos. Those are Dinalfos, aren't they? Anyway. Moving on. Stalfos
Tomato,
time.
potato. Wait, you need Exodus to die like minus 2 times?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh. I just looked at your bet.
Yeah. A little too optimistic.
Not quite go mode for one shot yet. Still needs to go to Forest Temple to get the Din's Fire, but we're sure that's probably going to be the next play there. And Gogeta will still need to go after all this. Still get the light arrows. So Gogeta is in glow mode. No, Gogeta still needs to get the boomerang from fire. Never mind.
Alright, Exodus setting up light arrows and getting ready for the fight with the dwarf.
Yep, so Exodus obviously in go mode, about to finish here. Mike Katz is also in go mode, still needs to do Jabu after this fight. And then one shot just needs the Dins out of Forest Temple. Gogeta needs the boomerang out of fire and the light arrows from adult archery.
Yeah, I think it'll be close. It might be a few minutes too much, though.
We'll see.
Alright, Ganondorf time for Exodus.
Got 9 hearts and double defense, though. Spin strats.
Did a real good job with the bongo bongo kill. See if he gets the rhythm here for Dorf. Oh,
Not quite. Oh, Soggy, it feels bad.
Oh, but he gets the easy
Sorry about that.
pull here.
Oh, there's our first place finisher. What the hell's happened? 2
Yeah.
hours, 10 minutes, and 42 seconds.
All right, but Exodus is going to be coming in, minute and a half behind that.
So let's see, at 210, 42. Who would be the closest here? As I said, the first place finish. I didn't say the restream first place finish.
That is true.
I think our closest would actually be this one. Being a minute 40 off. Minute 41, rather.
All right. And Exodus has moved on to the second phase of the Ganon fight. Should be done in short order. Just needs to get 4 more hits in, or 3 more hits in now.
Oh, there's the lights for Gogeta. Just needs that
mean light
boomerang out of
arrows?
fire. What?
Did you mean light arrows?
What did I say?
You said lens.
No, he said lights.
Oh, I
was like, I thought I said lights.
I thought you said lens for some reason.
No.
I mean, it can kind of sound like lens if you're.
Yeah. Oh, snipe! Exodus gets sniped by Keizo.
Oh, gross.
Anyway, Exodus finishes in 3rd place with a time of 2 hours, 12 minutes, 51 seconds. Get your GGs in chat.
GG. My goodness, that was a real good finish for Exodus right there. Something tells me he's going to get at least 936 points. What do you think?
I would probably agree on that one. See if we can get Exodus in for an interview.
I sure hope so.
Probably let the adrenaline cool off a little bit for him.
I think his highest score is 935 or 936, so that's why that's relevant.
Exodus has a highest score currently of 932.
Gomba getting 4th place, 2:14.01, as Gogeta frees the Goron.
Man, you're not allowed to be good at this and Link to the Past, okay? Stop it. There's Weasel,
Weasel
23.
takes. Oh,
Go ahead.
Yeah. Weasel takes 5th place, 2:14.40.
Gogeta picking up the boomerang there. So that's gonna, I think, go mode for Gogeta as well.
Yeah, Gomon's let on their tracker.
And with One Shot having picked up the Din's Fire, that's also probably go mode for them as well.
Just Sam snipes Riley for 6th place. And there's our top 7.
Yeah. Was that 5-minute difference?
Yeah, just about.
Less than 5-minute difference between 1st and 7th.
Yeah, pretty small standard deviation among the top 7.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. That sound that I just heard means that we have been joined by the myth and the legend Exodus, who just came out of this race with a third place time of ridiculous.
Yeah, thanks.
Jeez.
Nicely
So
done.
what did you think of the seed?
Well, it felt like just a jet seed. Like I rushed my progression and way the hero locations, and that was it. Like I didn't really have to do anything extra. I feel like I
Yeah.
did like the base like child route. I did like all the safe child checks. Like I did everything as child pretty much. But then I just did my progression and waved the heroes, and that was it. So I'm
Alright,
pretty
solely-
happy with the time I got.
Solely Holy Sparks and Sponge round out our top 10.
All right. No. Not surprised by any of those finishes, to be honest. So yeah, we were saying this particular finish is going to do you some real good as far as getting you into the top 32 rankings here. At least as far as points go.
Yeah, I'm happy with this. I still have to get another really good time on my last qual, but this definitely helps. I think I have to get around 900 points on my last qual, and then probably in.
Well, as the rankings stand currently, that was 1,005 points for you, which puts you in 29th place.
Yeah, nice.
Now, of course, that does sort of not. That doesn't count any other results we might get from this race. So some other people might end up passing him on the way to
Of
the end of
course,
this
yeah.
race. So yeah, you're gonna definitely don't just kind of sit back and hope it works. I would say you want to get in for the final race and see what you can do. But yeah, that was a excellent performance. I mean, everything just kind of worked out for the most part. The only thing. So we saw it was One Shot, right, who went early and dipped Fire Temple for the one chest and got the boomerang.
Mm-hmm.
But then he got, shall we say, distracted by not having the Kakiri sword forever. So that was his issue. It's about the only way I could have seen to improve your route was to just have the boomerang already. But even then, that might not have made much of a difference.
Yeah, I was strongly considering leaving GTG after I got the second item. I forget what it was, because I did another like 6 or 7 minutes of checks in there. But I was about to leave, but I was like, I'll just be really safe, I guess. So I definitely could have done that. I'm surprised that I finished so high, actually. I thought more people would do a similar route, but I guess I just happened to get things in good order at the beginning that other people didn't.
Yeah, I think of the runners here, you were the first to take that strength upgrade into DC and get the bomb bag. And so that sort of started your progression that direction.
Yeah, that was really nice. I always like to, if I get an item that lets me dip into DC, then I think it's a good play a lot of the time. Because I have had a lot of seeds like that where the first bomb bag's in DC and you're expected to dip it with just hammer or just strength, something like that.
Yeah, major shout out to actual vanilla bomb bag. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that was way of the hero
Yeah.
in DC. That was pretty funny. And the DC way of the hero hint in DC was also great.
Yeah, the graveyard way of the hero I was a little bit scared of because that could have been the Sun Grave, and I never got the Ocarina of Time hints in the seed, so I didn't even know if it was AD for quite a while. The time that I finally knew it definitely wasn't AD, or almost certainly wasn't AD. It was when I was only one item from Go, and I just had the way of the hero and Zora's Domain to do. And I purposely delayed that one because I had a feeling that I would have to walk all the way up the river again later. Because I just had a feeling that if I went and did that in my first child section, I would get something, and then I would just have to walk all the way up the river again later. So I'm glad I delayed that, and that's probably saved me like 5 minutes or something.
The only way that could have gone sideways is if you had something like a paradox letter, but
Yeah.
which
Getting
could
close.
totally happen this seed, especially with the Ganon's Tower being available so early. Could just gone in there and grab some blue fire. Anyway.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was definitely thinking about it could have been King Zora. And when I got that claim check, I was a little like, I have to go back adult and turn that in because I never got the big Goron hint.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah, the only one we saw was in Hyrule Castle on the
I skipped
second one.
Yeah, I skipped like the 2 Hyrule Castle hints and the 2 late hints, and I guess the Zora's area hints. They did that at the very end, so I was
That's
missing.
where the OT.
I had all the
both-
way to heroes in there. I was missing.
Both OT hints were in the Zora region.
Oh, okay.
Pubs, thanks for the raid. GG's.
Speaking of, in the time we've been talking Exodus, we've had Cubs himself finish in 11th place, and then Ice 9, Happen Fours, Grim Fairy, Hamza, Real Weird, Tenacious Toad, and Sly Rye D. And Cola finish up to 19th place there. We've got Mike Katz about to finish here soon as well, so that'll be nice to see. Nice Mike Katz from here on stream. So Exodus, you said you didn't expect to do this well, but from what I was seeing, it was certainly deserved. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about the seed, or what else you're looking forward to, or anything else?
No, I can't think of anything, but yeah, that's my PB in Rando, I guess. So I'm happy about that.
Nice.
Yeah,
GG.
thanks.
All right, we got Westifer with that 20th place finish as Mike Katz finishes off the Iron Knuckles en route to Ganon. One Shot is currently dealing with Meg inside the Forest Temple, and Gogeta is on the way to beat Jabu.
Yep.
Mike Katz setting up for Ganon time. Got the good old hammer.
Bottle and light arrows.
Yeah, the things that you use to kill Ganon.
Yep.
I don't know why I can't words today, but hi.
Words are hard.
Yep.
Got Red Rim there in 21st place. It's 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 12 seconds. And Engel right behind with another about 23 seconds behind there. And 22nd. And Mike Katz about to apply some sword to Ganon face.
Face meet sword or sword meet face?
I wouldn't really want sword meat. Jammo finishing with 23rd place, 226.05. There's Mike Katz finishing off the dwarf.
The dwarf.
And here's Scannon for Mike Cat.
What a seed.
Mm-hmm.
Simple, easy.
And not like adjacent seed, usually.
Not at all like adjacent seed. I am disappointed, I know.
Okay, so One Shot is about to finish off Phantom Ganon here, while Mike Katz is into the final phase of Ganon proper. One Shot only has one medallion left to pick up, but unfortunately it is the Shadow Medallion, so it's going to be a hot minute.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or rather, it's the fourth medallion in Shadow Temple.
Yeah.
When Forest Medallion ends up being your last one. So sad.
He's going to have to play a song before he can pick up that silly key.
Um,
Or
GG's
or
to
after
Mike
it.
Cat.
Either way. There we go. Mike Katz finishing 25th place with an official time of 2 hours, 28 minutes, and 26 seconds. That was after Panda Cerise in 24th place, which we didn't mention before. We will see if Mike Katz decides to join us here in a bit.
Oh, there's just about a tie between Marco and Saria's object.
I mean,
ooh.
It, as far as I can tell, it basically is a tie,
Yeah, it's just race time.
at least in terms of the times on race time.
Like, yeah. It goes, I don't know how many decimal places the time goes. But for determining points for qualification, yeah, it's pretty much a tie.
So well done to both of those runners. And, keep in mind, Marco here, for those of you who know, Marco is a, shall we say, seasoned runner of this game, of this randomizer.
Yeah.
And, 26th place. He probably expected better than that. But this seed, was fast enough that so many people could end up getting, times in that area without having to do much extra checks at all.
That's how jet seeds go sometimes.
Yeah.
But the jet seed, the hardest part is your routing. You make that one mistake in your route and people just start flying through.
We got J-Bone 25 in 28th place with a time of 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 36 seconds.
Well, we're waiting to see if Mike Katz will join us. This is not the end of our Ocarina time this weekend. Tomorrow, we have a very interesting cow-filled Freaky Friday. A 10-piece... There are 10 out of 10 Triforce pieces, where the pieces are planned out on the 10 Cows of Hyrule. That's including the Master Quest Jabu.
Aha.
Though the big thing about it is that interiors, grottos, and dungeons are going to be mixed pool entrance rando. So have fun finding them. The songs are also going to be placed on dungeon rewards, so you do have to find your Epona's song at some point, somewhere on one of the dungeons. And then there's some other additional settings, such as random spawn and age, shuffled weird egg, 6 med bridge, I believe that's Keezy. And then you start with consumables and an ocarina, and they're going to be using the Scrubs tournament hint distribution, which is more similar to the S3 style of hints, where the grottos actually have hints as well.
Fair enough.
So that's coming up tomorrow during our normal Freaky Friday, and that will be restreamed. And then, of course, we have our NA and EU weeklies. That will be on Saturday and Sunday, and those will be the final 2 qualifiers for the S4 tournament. And our DDR monthly restream, it's a weekly race that happens but gets restreamed every month, is happening on Saturday as well. So we've got a lot of Ocarina of Time rando for you this weekend, so definitely stay tuned as we bring an end to the qualifier stage of Season 4.
For those of you who don't know, the DDR thing, that's a dungeon door requirement where you have a lot more glitches are allowed, but you still do have to go actually beat the dungeons and open their boss door and that sort of thing. Unless I messed that up.
No, that's about right. From what I understand, anyway.
Also, I'm told you have to do it on a dance pad.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, so we had Sea Falcon finish in 29th with a 2 hour, 31 minute, and 3 second time, and Felix Oid finishing 30th with a 2:33.16. And it sounds like we have been joined by Mike Katz, who recently finished on stream here back in 25th place. But still, GG on the time. It's a pretty solid time.
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, thanks. It was a fast one.
Mm-hmm. Steve just kind of wanted you to have the things,
Yeah, I played it too safe, unfortunately. And it was also a bit unlucky because the last thing I needed was a boomerang, and you can literally get boomerang like as your first check in the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah, could have happened.
Yeah. And I was going to go to fire, but I looked at the timer, the heat timer, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna miss it by like 1 second. So I just didn't go. And I would have saved so much time if I had done that early.
That's a little unfortunate, but that is just kind of how the rando tends to fall occasionally. But yeah, there's certainly nothing bad about the time that was done here. Basically anybody in the top 50 of this seed is gonna have a great time.
Yeah, it's definitely the people that got top places are just rushed things a little bit more, and that's enough in this seed to have a very high ranking.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the only one of our runners who actually managed to get early boomerang somehow skipped the Kakiri sword forever. Here.
Yeah. The Kakiri sword is honestly probably one of the hardest parts of the run, because like it's a check that's easy to do, but it's just a bit weird. Like I can see someone deciding not to go there for a while.
Yeah.
Once you've already done Dodongo's Cavern, gotten the bomb bag, and then decided to leave from there, you're going to be really disinclined to head that direction. What with Goron City being foolish and all that mess.
Yeah, exactly.
So it does make some sense, but it is unfortunate for one shot here. But yeah, For you, finish it off about as well as anybody could have asked for. I haven't looked at how this is going to affect your point totals or rating yet at all, but
Yeah, I don't really know what place I am right now, because to get into the main tournament, it's really rough, I feel like. So my goal from the start was to just make it to Challenge Cup, have a good seed in Challenge Cup. So I think I'm good for that, but I don't know about like how close to 32 I am.
Do you want to know?
Yeah, sure.
As it is now, obviously there's still people racing. Your current placement, including tonight's race, has you at 34th.
Yeah, okay.
So you're real close up there.
There's probably a lot of people that still have races to go and that are also close. So yeah, it's just very, very difficult.
I mean, it's certainly not inconceivable that you could make the top 32 here.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think I placed better in any of the races than like 16th place. So, this could happen. But honestly, I'm aiming for just getting a decent time, not like winning the next race I do or something.
Fair enough. Yeah, again, GG and well played on this. Is there anything in particular that you wanted to say about this race or any race or anything else?
Not really. Just that I think it's the fastest paced seed that I've played so far in S4, because in S4 there seems to be a tendency of like getting longer seeds more often. And this was definitely one of the fastest, if not the fastest I played. And the only mistake I think I did that I could have avoided was I tried to play it super safe and go for a Scarecrow song before going to fire, but when I got there, it was like, why is this guy not giving me a song? And I realized that I never went there as child, because there's just no good moment to go there as child. So that was a pretty dumb time loss that I had, but well, even without that, like I would have probably saved like 5 minutes only. Not sure what place I would have gotten, but doesn't matter too much. It's fine.
All right. Thank you once again, my cats, for coming in and talking to us here, and congratulations once again. Good luck in upcoming matches. I believe you said, or they said, you still have one more left to go that can count.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you're probably doing the Sunday one, or what?
Yeah, it's Saturday, Sunday. I still don't know, but yeah, I'll try to do it for sure. One of those.
Well, once again, good luck on that, and we will see that Gogeta here is about to finish the seed as well. Has that glowing sword, gonna stab it right into Ganon's face.
Yeah, thanks for the restream, guys. See you around.
All right. GG's.
And there is Gogeta finishing in 39th place with an official time of 2 hours, 40 minutes, and 27 seconds. That coming in behind, we had Furlim in 31st place, Rosca Tyrant in 32nd, Ninja Bus in 33rd, Zephyr in 34th, Fabio 94 in 35th, Phoenix Feather finishing in 36th, Icola in 37th, and Splits Happen at 38th. So, yeah, all of these runners, the ones that I have seen, all of them are quite good at this.
And we're down to just one shot left, finishing up in Shadow Tumble. We'll be here to cheer them on as they get to the finish here.
So, Jason, you mentioned that that Freaky Friday seed tomorrow. For those of us who don't know, what actual time is that?
That's a good question. I'm like, it's at 5 p.m. for me. So that puts it at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
All right.
Also, here's Gogeta.
And welcome to Gogeta. Congratulations on that finish. GG. How's it? How'd you feel about that? Currently, nothing's coming through on your mic if you're trying to speak.
I'll just give it some time as we watch the Bongo Bongo finish here from One Shot. Gogeta might have stepped away.
We'll see. Anyways, One Shot finishing off Bongo Bongo. So even with that mishap with the Kikiri sword, looks like it's still probably going to come in under 3 hours here. I hear something very faint.
Well, there's another tie. Incoherent and Doc Hughes both finishing at 2:43.19.
Wow.
Is it better now?
There we go. I hear
hear you
Gogeta ever so slightly. I might have to turn you up so I can hear you.
Yes, very quiet.
All right. Could you say something for me again?
Yeah, test.
All right. Hello, Gogeta. Oh, welcome and congratulations on that finish.
Yeah, thanks.
So, I mean, I don't know how personally you feel about that finish time because I don't know what your history is, but you know, I'd be perfectly thrilled with a 240 seed myself.
Yeah, not me. The VC crash was really painful.
Oh, you had a
Lost a lot
VC
of
crash?
time.
We didn't even notice. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I lost. I crashed in DC. I have to go back adult, do the river again, etc. Then go back to DC.
Oh,
Ow.
we were having tech issues at the beginning of the stream.
Oh yeah. Well, I think I was maybe 10 minutes to do the VC crash.
Oof. That is less than ideal.
Yeah, especially on the jet seed. I also missed the boomerang. I wanted to check the first checks in Fire Temple at the start of the seed. I was out of time, so I changed my route. I saved warped, and I skipped it. And it was a ring, so I had to go back child, go up the river again to do Jabu.
Oof.
I tried to go into the 3 hours, hoping to find something. It was empty. Oh yeah, I'm not really happy with what I did.
Yeah.
But
And was this the last one that you had?
yeah, it was the last one.
All right.
I hope for something better.
All right. Well, you know that I still think that you did a lot better than some of the people over here on the commentary booth would do. And every one of us watching here, you know, you had a great display of skill, even if the hardware didn't quite help you out as much as it should have.
I mean, it's alright. I think I will have a good place in the Challenge Cup.
Yep. I don't think you're going to have any trouble getting into that one at a pretty high seed. So, good luck in that coming up. And
Yeah, thank you.
yeah, if you
Thanks for the stream.
have anything else you'd like to add about this or anything else coming up, anything you'd like to shout out?
Oh, I'm quite excited for the Challenge Cup.
All right. And Challenge Cup, of course, is another tournament that runs parallel with this, with the 33rd through 96th qualifiers from this tournament. And I believe there are at least plans to allow some of those to be restreamed. So who knows what we'll see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Or at least watching it. I'm certainly not participating.
Yeah,
And
there will be the good players.
All right. Well, once again, congratulations on the finish, as well as it could have gone, or as well as it went. And thanks. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, GG's.
All right, so One Shot is about to finish here on Ganon. I can't help but look at the little picture in the top left corner of his stream. You guys can't see it on screen here, but it has it's a picture of Keanu Reeves in The Matrix dodging bullets, and it says One Shot dodging progression. Which may or may not be what happened here. Right now it's got silver gauntlets and a hammer on it flying by. He's going to have to add a Kakiri sword to that picture.
Yeah.
All right, One Shot picking up the Master Sword, and this will be the end of the fight. Just a few seconds left. Probably coming in just above 250 here. Maybe under 250. I don't really know how long the cutscene is.
It's about like 30 seconds.
Yeah, and with the Ganon misalignment there, could be a bit of a problem. But here we are. One Shot 13. About to finish off Ganon. Ooh.
Jeez.
Looks like right about 250, 05, 06, something like that. 250.02, it says. In ZSR. So well played to a One Shot 13. Despite that Kakiri sword issue. I don't know if he's going to want to join us or not. The abrupt finish there on his stream might indicate he's a little bit done. But no, it sounds like One Shot 13 has decided to join us. Congratulations on finishing that.
Yeah, thank you. GG's, everybody.
GG.
Yeah. So we were wondering if you needed to add a Kakiri sword to your little picture in the top left corner.
I think I might. Truth be told, I didn't make that myself, but I made the joke one time that I dodge progression like Neo dodges bullets, one thing after another, and here we are.
Man!
I will request the artist to add a Kokiri sword to that now after that performance.
Oh, but yeah, that was. I mean, we were real excited when he found the boomerang. It was pretty sick. We're like, oh, goes for the one chest in Fire Temple, gets the boomerang. I mean, what are you gonna do to that? And then it's just everything decided. Nope.
Right. It unraveled pretty quickly after that. Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of an unfortunate placement with a barren Goron city and not having storms to do the storms check. It's that location just slipped my mind entirely.
Yeah, because the only time it would have been relatively convenient to do is right after finishing DC, and that's only somewhat relatively convenient because you've got Kakariko sitting there. It's like I want to do that.
Right. Yeah, you got bombs from WAF DC. You know, there's a lot of things you can do with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Shout outs to the DC hint, literally standing right in DC.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was pretty
And
good.
then leading to an actual vanilla bomb bag. Thank you, thank you very much.
That was pretty funny. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would still be just thrilled with this time because, again, I'm bad at this game. But
Well, I mean, knowing how it could have gone, like that's just the thing with jet seeds like this. You know, if you miss one of the steps along the line, you're gonna have a bad time, and that's just what happened here.
Yeah.
so I believe you still have at least one more race you can do before this is all said and done.
I do, yes.
All right. Jason, do we have a calculation on how one shot's doing here?
Yeah, let's take a look. So let everything refresh. One shot with that race done. Obviously, still people finishing and whatnot. That puts you in 48th place.
All right.
Moved up a little bit. One of my other quals, I think, was about 700. So
Yep, your last counted qual right now still is a 758. So
Okay.
one more good qual could still bump you up into that top 32. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
True, not out of the question yet.
So good luck in the next qualifier, and hopefully you can avoid pulling your matrix dodges.
No promises, but I'll do what I can.
Yeah, that was a pretty enjoyable seed to watch, at least from a spectator standpoint, getting to see a lot of fast finishes here.
Yeah.
And hopefully the rest will be just as interesting. One shot, do you have anything else you'd like to say? Anything you'd like to shout out? Anything at all?
Oh no, honestly, I think I'm good. GG's, and yeah, we'll get him next time.
Yeah, GG's.
All right. So with that, we have finished this particular restream. Everybody on stream is done racing. I don't really have anything else I'd like to say other than thank you to our restreamer and our trackers and my co-commentators for putting up with my words that decided not to work half the time today.
And especially to Delilah for getting this all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the restream wouldn't have at least started without Delilah being here. So definitely thank you to Delilah if you're still in the chat somewhere. Thank you to our trackers Sadie, Sweet, Winnie, Demon, MC Paula, and Ginger Sony. To our commentators Dr. Bob and VXR, and of course to our runners Exodus, One Shot, Gogeta, and Mike Katz. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As mentioned, we do have the Freaky Friday Cowtastic race tomorrow. DDR Weekly happening on Saturday, as well as Qualifier 15 and Qualifier 16 happening on Sunday, which will round out all of our qualifiers and help solidify who will be in both the top 32 and who will be running the Challenge Cup over on the Silver Gauntlets. But with all that being said, thank you guys for coming by and joining us for all of our technical issues, and we will see you next time. Take care, everyone.
All right, guys.
Good night.